Thank you, Mr. President. There are so many occasions in our movement when we become involved in issues which are quite humbling, where the gravity of them, the moment of them and the potential consequences are bigger than all of us. And indeed, this is just one such issue. I was very honoured back in Oslo in February of this year to see an incredibly proud moment for our movement when 128 governments came together for the first time ever in the history of the world to discuss the humanitarian consequences of nuclear weapons. That would not have happened, in my view, had it not been for the 2011 Council of Delegates resolution, which we are building on today. Of enormous significance was the fact that not only was the ICRC leading us, as they always do, in these critical issues of weapons of war, but they were also supported by the IFRC and by national societies, because this is truly a movement issue. So what's the issue here? As we sit here today in this city of peace, in this movement of peace, we are confronted with a stark reality that nuclear weapons are not prohibitively declared an illegal weapon of war and in all circumstances. We have not achieved that. This is the goal, in my view, that we must work towards as a result of the passage of this resolution. We're talking about the most barbaric weapon ever devised by humankind, with a capacity now 150,000 times that of Hiroshima. There are important steps ahead on this journey. One will be in Mexico next year in February, when governments gather again to further the Oslo discussions. 1 month ago, 141 governments issued statements in the General Assembly of the United Nations in which they acknowledged the importance of the resolution of our Council of Delegates. This proves yet again that when the movement speaks with one voice, the world will truly listen. Mr. Chairman, what is before us today is a resolution and a concrete plan of action. A resolution and a plan of action that calls for concrete, considered, diplomatic, sometimes behind the scenes, sometimes public initiatives as we work forward over the next 4 years towards our goal. 2 years ago, I asked the question, what would Henry do? Well, I'll tell you what Henry would do now. Henry would get behind this plan of action and he would use every reasonable, practical, diplomatic initiative possible to achieve the goal, just as we did towards the achievement of the first Geneva Convention. These are our times. This is profoundly our issue. And Henry would be using Twitter, Facebook and every modern communication means to win the hearts and minds of the people of the world. Mr. President, we can do this, and I would call on the whole of the movement to get behind this magnificent resolution which charts a blueprint for our history and our future. Thank you so much.